Intro. It's probably 102 degrees. Well, I hope you guys are keeping track of the videos because last week or a week before, I don't know when I put it up, me and my buddy Donnie Bass freaking landed a second place finish in the Roland Martin Marine Series challenge.
Big one. Oh my God. Big one. Big one. Big one.
It's probably one of the biggest tournaments in South Florida on Lake Okeechobee, put on by Roland Martin Marina. Freaking awesome derby. The Sticks of South Florida come out to fish that. The Sticks. I'm talking like real hard hitters. And as you probably saw, we got kind of lucky. Not, you know, dude, friggin' luck is luck, dude. I'd rather be lucky than good. And sometimes that's the way fishing works. You put yourself in the right place enough times, even though they're the wrong place, and all of a sudden things come together. And that's really what happened. Donnie had a spot. We developed it, we broke it down, we settled down and grinded through, and we got lucky and we hit a window of fish biting. And not just fish, big fish. So you're asking yourself, what does that have to do with this video? Why are we shooting an intro about stuff that already happened and that already got edited? Good question. So we're gonna take this opportunity to go back out on Lake Okeechobee tomorrow. Me and my buddy Donnie Bass, check him out on Instagram, Donnie Bass 577, Donnie Bass on Instagram, woo! But we're gonna break down exactly what we did those days, show you guys some of the techniques, some of the terminal tackle, hopefully some giant fish, because we're actually on something, but really give you a breakdown of the day that's kind of like right as the real time happens. It's hard to kind of catch that, all the details, I guess you'd say, during the tournament. As you probably saw, like we tried to recap and tell you a bit about it, but what's more fun? Like showing you, right? So yeah, real fishing times 1,000? I think so. So tomorrow, recap, relive, hopefully, and break down the pattern that got us a second place and a pretty hefty check in the Roland Martin Marine Series, dude. It'll be good because Donnie has an interesting perspective, especially he kind of was a guru and like, hey, let's go there, let's make this out. And I'm like, all right, dude. And it happened. So some of it will be decision making, some of it will be baits, some of it will be just learning a new day and showing how the lake changes from day to day. Should be pretty cool. Thank you guys. You have pushed this channel to grow so fast and so quickly and so strongly too. It's not just like guys watching one video and checking it out and leaving. Dude, you guys get behind it. You watch the vids, you comment, you talk to me. We have dialogues all the time on like Facebook and Instagram with guys who are like, hey man, what do you think of this? Or they'll throw an idea at me and I'll be like, dude, I gotta try that. So yeah, thank you for watching the vids and being there and supporting real fishing, because that's what I've always tried to bring you, because in my opinion, that's what it's about. So make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit subscribe, and let's reliving, recapping, and telling you more about what went down to put in a second place finish at the Roland Martin Marine Series. All right, guys? Just picking Donnie up in the middle of a freaking Winn-Dixie parking lot. Look like we're selling dope. Here he comes. Attacked by the camera.
I left my frog at home.
Yeah, that's his frog at home. All right, we're gonna do this. Oh, you son of a gun. Listen to me, I'm talking like you. You son of a gun. Frick! You son of a gun. Came right out of the corner of that head. Started running. Hang on. See, she comes off.
Is that my fish, Donnie?
Donnie, can you get this for me? Oh. Wow. Jesus. Dude, look at the head on her. That's like a 5 pound with a 6 pound head, dude.
Big, dude.
It is. All right, guys. We're in play. So you want to start? You know, mixing it up a little compared to the Rollins. I got an otter with a punch skirt and a 3/4, but we're just trying to power pitch this stuff. We're going to get her back real quick. Peace out, Chief. See you later. She shook that whole reed head, dude. That's kind of what happened freaking the other morning. 2 fish in the same head. That's kind of crazy. Guys, this is what those shad spawning look like. You see all those little dots? I don't know if you can actually see the fish because the water's a little murky. All those little flicks. Those are hundreds and hundreds of shad. Look at them coming up. We're gonna scare the living piss out of them. Watch this. Oh, they just went down. Welcome to Lake Okeechobee, boys. So I thought Donnie was gonna have the big fish of the morning, but freaking I managed to squeeze a chunker in. You probably just saw it. Freaking stud, dude. So we're trying to kind of relive our Saturday, our RMMC challenge, and we want to kind of take you along. Obviously, fishing changes every day, and especially on Lake Okeechobee, it's renowned for being different all the time. So we can't do the same things, but I want to walk you through some of the stuff that we were doing. And since we are in that morning section, I want to tell you a little bit about what we were doing that morning. And even though we're not doing it right now, Donnie's kind of throwing like a little trap or a jerkbait or something. But what we were focusing on, you can see right here, there's some reeds and some kissimmee grass and that. And we've talked about the shad spawn before. And basically, when you have that low light period, those shad are spawning in that grass. But here's what we did a little different. Donnie was throwing a chatterbait with a swim bait. He caught like a 5.5 doing that. But what I did is kind of went back to my roots, dude. I picked up a flipping stick and ground it down. Pitch, pitch, pitch. And what can happen is when you do that, yeah, you can catch a bunch of fish on moving baits, swim jigs and that, but you tend to get 1 or 2 bigger bites if you are pitching, because those bigger fish, they stay down in the water column a little, and sometimes they're eating brim at that time and they're not actually focused in on the shad. And it's funny because the same thing happened today, dude. We went down the line, Donnie caught a solid 3-pounder, freaking kind of like swimming a little jig thing or swimming a Texas rig, and then like 5-10 minutes later, I caught one that was probably 6.5. Like, it was a chunker, but once again, it was that pitching. So it's kind of that same motif as what happened during the RMC's challenge. You know, Donnie picked up a few extra bites, casting, you know, covering some water, and I tried to just kind of do my roll and try to catch something big from the back, and that's how it went down. We're gonna kind of flow, you know, in a general way like we did during the tournament, but we're also gonna be open-minded because, as I mentioned, things change.
Man, different day, different week. Gotta adapt, change it up.
Same hat though.
I like it.
He likes. All right, guys. Record! Donnie found himself a stud. Oh. Yeah, but she's got that mean... Yeah, she's not that big, Donnie says. Dude, she's just one of them big heads. All right. Nice job. Ah, fat ace.
Fat acer.
Hey, this is a really good example. So you're using a straight shank hook. This is where me and Donnie really differ. He's running that straight shank. Still a 1/2 ounce though, but dude, that's a solid one. See you later, alligator. All right, guys, let me show you one of the rigs that we were using during that derby. So we have double bobber stopper, just like that. This is a traditional punching rig, and this is a punching rig that you're going to use for emergent grass, kind of like this cane or these tules or, you know, kind of round reeds, kissimmee grass. Got a 1/2 ounce Hogtech tungsten weight. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna thread that joker on there. Now, we varied that day between a 1/2 ounce and a 3/4 ounce. Reason being is usually we'll go to the 1/2 ounce, but because it was so windy that day, which it is not today, we had the 3/4 ounce going. But when it is a little flatter like this, you want to go with the 1/2 ounce. Now, this is where me and Donnie differ a little bit. I like an offset shank hook. This is a 5/0 owner wide gap plus. I like it because it runs cleaner through the cane and you got that giant gap. And in my opinion, when you hook them and you pin them, it gives you a little space for them to kind of wedge some round reeds and stuff up in there, and you can still get them out. So I'm just going to take that. I'm going to tie a polymer knot. The other reason I like this 5/0 hook is because I can put anything on it. I can put a giant beaver bait, I can put a mega daddy, I can put a freaking 4.5 inch tube, you know, a stick bait like an ace. There's a variety of baits I can put on there and it'll handle it just fine. But I'm gonna just tie that polymer knot, loop over. And bada bing. And that's our rig right there. Simple punching rig for emergent vegetation. Either use a 1/2 ounce or a 3/4 ounce, and you're ready to rock. Says he's in there deep. Now that Donnie's all snagged up and I don't have to worry about him catching fish while I'm shooting this, we're gonna ask him a couple questions, because here's one thing that I'm really wondering about, and he might say it's just fate or like just, you know, like pulled it out of my hat. But at the end of the day, we made a huge, not we. There's no we, there's no I in we, and it was all him. He made a decision totally clutch. I wanted to go one way, I wanted to go left, he wanted to go right. And freaking, we went right. And literally, dude, we called out 3 fish and basically made our bag. Like, we would have been more near, I don't know, 16 pounds or so with what we had. Actually, maybe a little more than that because you caught that 3-pounder. So maybe a hair more than that, but just kind of an average but solid bag. But Donnie, you wanted to go right, basically. Let's call it that. You wanted to go target some round reeds, kind of like an island, some isolated round reeds. Why did you do that? Like, what drove you to? Because it's stuff that we hadn't fished. You hadn't pre-fished it. I hadn't fished it. What was the deal?
I just we actually had a decent bag. In my mind, we had like 19, maybe 20, and where you wanted to go, really, I didn't feel like we'd catch a big one, and I just thought with the little bit of time we had left that let's kind of roll the dice and go where a similar layout where we caught the couple big ones that morning. So I just thought our chances of a big one was out there, even though it was kind of a gamble, I guess. But it obviously paid off.
Well, that's kind of interesting because me and Donnie were talking earlier. I'm not a winner, and I think I've mentioned in some of the videos before. Like, I just don't win. I succeed, and like I'm able to like do things and learn things, but like I don't have that closer, that ABC, always be closing mentality. And I think that's kind of what he's talking about, and that's what's showing off. You know, making a decision. Maybe my math was wrong too, which didn't help. But making a decision to win, to try to win, to kind of put all your cards on the table and throw down. That's something that, you know, I do play small ball, and in a one-day tournament, you don't play small ball. You play big ball, especially if you got what you got and you want to kind of go for it. It's a 5K payout, otherwise everything gets smaller after that. Granted, second, not bad at all. But I think that is something. You are someone that you'll take a risk, you'll take a gamble, and you'll throw down, and I think that kind of showed in that decision.
Absolutely. I don't like second, even though I'll take second. I want to win, and that's even if it's 1 or 2 tournaments a year, it's more gratifying to me to win than it is to just get second or third or top 10 or whatever. I'll take it all day long, and I'll get seconds every single tournament, I guess. But I'd rather win a couple and bomb on some. So it's kind of my style.
That's what a winner sounds like. So that's kind of a little insight. It's fishing is about finding fish. It is about learning, figuring out a pattern, figuring out kind of like, you know, what your strengths are and kind of developing them and like using them, which is what we did. You know, we flipped, we pitched, and it's something that we both are super confident in and pretty decent at. But in the end, like having that mentality to win, that mental game, and making that go right decision instead of that go left decision, that's the difference between 19, like you said, 18, 19, I'll say 17, but whatever. That kind of range, like upper teens and 26 pounds, man. One decision. Kind of crazy. Oh, Donnie. Oh, Donnie. Oh, dude. Oh, my God. Donnie. Oh. Whoa. Yeah, that's not that big. Actually, well, that's not a bad fish, actually. But that's a good place to wrap it up. Donnie throwing down that epic last-minute catch. Dude, we just went through the storm of a century, which happens every day down here in Florida because that's what happens. We live in the tropics, dude. It freaking rains, it pours, it thunders, it lightnings, and it blows like 38 miles an hour on flat land, which is a lot of wind. I apologize for the raindrops on the screen because it's still dripping, and we got to do this recap. But the goal of today, and I think we achieved it, was to kind of show you guys in real time what we were doing during that tournament. We showed you some of the pitching techniques, some of the casting techniques. I don't think we caught any on the chatterbait this time, but the pitching thing, you get an idea. You know, mega daddies, 3/4 ounce, half ounce, pitch into those reeds, Kissimmee grass, isolated kind of targets on the main lake or towards the main lake, and they're brim eaters, and it's all windows. You know, you catch them a few in the morning, catch a few later in the afternoon, and sometimes you don't catch them at all. They're jumping behind us. Donnie, any closing words, kind of?
No, not really, man. Like you said, the chatterbait didn't work today, but also it was way calmer today, so that's a big key on that.
You know, and that brings up a big point. So you can't fish the different day the same way. Like, every day is changing, especially here on Lake Okeechobee. It's such a dynamic fishery, and it's a dynamic ecosystem, dude. It's one day is not the same. It doesn't rain at 2 o'clock every day. Like, it changes. It's a wild place to be, dude. It's freaking wild, and everything wants to kill you, which we've talked about. Tried to show you the techniques in the context of today, and here's the irony. We found some mats which have nothing to do with the way we fish freaking the Roland thing, but who can turn like that stuff down? So that's what we're gonna play around with. But goal achieved. Make sure to check out Donnie. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe if you like real fishing. That's what we're showing you, what happened, how it went down, how we did what we did. Got a little lucky. Can't show you that part, but you saw it in the video. Make sure to check out the tournament video if you didn't. That'll be probably the video before this that I put up. So tight lines, like, subscribe, support Real Fishing. Thank you guys for what you've done for the channel to help grow it. It means a ton, and it really enables me to put out more content. Hopefully stuff that you like or stuff that you don't like. I don't really care. So tight lines, Donnie, anything?
Oh man, peace out, guys.
Later, boys.
Yeah.